because it's Warframe time. That's right. We're going to talk about Warframe and why you should probably play it. And we'll do like another video where I break down the good reasons. But I think the thing about today's video is more so just looking at and talking about like some of the disbelief that, well, let's be honest, the Destiny community just doesn't understand why Destiny and Destiny 2 never continue to thrive to the extent that Warframe has. And we've mentioned this, by the way. Like, I just want to give a shout out to the Warframe community. Y'all are awesome. Like, straight up. Can I take time to glaze y'all? This video, why Bungie should learn from Warframe Digital Extremes to be a better company. Almost 500 likes, 12,000 views. And like, you guys were incredibly like supportive of this video. And it was just me reacting to the population charts of both, Destiny 2 and Warframe. Oh, well, they'll turn it off. We want the Warframe music. Warframe music go burr. But I just want to give a shout out to you guys. The love and support of that video makes me it told me that I need to talk more about Warframe. And I'm glad to see more people glazing Warframe, like even Raffle Waffles who glazed Destiny. I'm glad. And I know like Maddox, who was also being buddy of Digital Extremes and glazing it. That's great. I'm never going to criticize anyone who wants to glaze Warframe because they earned it. They deserve it. They've had spent years showcasing how much they care about the community, how much they care about the consumer, and how they actually have passion for the game. And now Warframe is becoming more in the spotlight, which is great. And I'm hoping that this is what this video can do, is to put Warframe more in the spotlight, to get more people involved. And I want to make this very clear. You don't have to like Warframe to understand why people like it. You don't have to like Warframe to appreciate what Digital Extremes brings to the table. And it's okay to want other companies, especially billion-dollar companies, to follow suit and to mimic such good practices. Warframe is how a live service game should be run, simple as is. Exactly, Pinchy. And that's the thing, right? We can all understand that we want, and here's the thing, if other companies follow through and acted the way that Warframe has been providing for its community, that's fantastic. If other games can follow suit, then we'll see a growth and development in gaming. That's what I hope. And I want Warframe to get more shout. Even Paul Tassie's like, Warframe crazy, man. Let's see what people are saying. It really deserves to be on Mount Rushmore of live service. I agree. Too bad the gunplay is absolutely buns, and that's a mobile game ass timer every time you craft something. Here's the deal. You're going to find things that you're not going to like in Warframe. You're going to find things that aren't perfect. And Digital Extremes isn't perfect. They mess up. And to say that Digital Extremes hasn't had their own scandals or, dramas or controversies, it happens. It only happens in every game and in every community. But it's not the extent of like Activision or Bungie or EA or Ubisoft. Like, we're talking about even though they're corporate, they still care about the community. And that is something that we should all strive to want from our favorite games. We should want the companies behind them to actually give a shit at the extent that Warframe and Digital Extremes shows itself. A lot of positivity. Glad to finally see more people wake up to this game's greatness. Exactly. And I want to help promote it. We even have Joker. It must be bots. I've been assured countless times by Destiny 2 players that there's no way an old game that's finished multiple story sagas can thrive in any meaningful way. For fun, line that up with Destiny 2 and see if you notice a pattern. I love this fucking chart. There's your sign. There's your sign. You want you want your sign, there it is. You two had higher highs but deeper valleys with longer string of inactivity. Warframe had the healthier growth and retention average. Exactly. Multiple story sagas that have more nuance than a Marvel movie. Yep. Fuck New War and the old piece are so good. They are fantastic. Every time I look at Warframe, I get sad because it really could have been Destiny. It's great. Also, they use black magic, more than 10 years of updates just and still under 50 gigabytes. Not only that, they don't delete entire sagas of content. We know Reb sold her soul to the devil, or at least promised him a frame. Uriel. That's... Also, can we just talk about how Reb sold her soul because she's how old she is and she's still freaking fine as hell? She put him in the game too. Yeah, there it is. For the record, I'm a huge fan of what they're doing over there. Never seen that claim. The sheer amount of people I've seen say, oh, well, of course, Destiny's losing players. That's their final ship. It was the end of a 10-year saga. It's crazy. By the way, this is a common argument. Of course, Destiny, the final ship was the final saga. So, of course, we're not going to have the same numbers. People have left. And Joker's making a great argument. Warframe shows you that even though if they end one saga, they can continue on the story and evolve it and keep going. In fact, we're going back in time, which is funny. Like, we're actually going back in time without actually going back in time. 1999, some backstory, you know, the old piece going back in time with the old. It's crazy. You can make a prequel in the current game. It's crazy how that works. You can expand upon ideas that have not been touched yet. Warframe is a great game, no doubt, but I cannot comprehend how they keep these numbers year over year while Destiny 2 keeps crashing. And that's the big problem with the Destiny community. They don't understand, and they live so tight-lipped in their own bubble that they don't understand that there are other companies out there that actually respect you as a consumer. They are so used to being abused and disrespected and used as a cheap doormat. It's not really cheap. It's $1 billion company sitting on your face, and not in a good way. Even taking numbers aside, Warframe numbers do dip, but reality is people do tend to come back and check out the updates. You really should say all you need to know, honestly. Yeah. And let me honest, as someone who was like hardcore and then dipped off for a year, and I've come back and I found a plethora of stuff that I need to grind for. And it is in some extent overwhelming, but I want to play it and I like that. That means there's more for me to do. Yes, I have to look up and figure out how to do things, but it's not hard to do, and it's a great process. And I'm excited that there's a game that I enjoy. I have things to do versus like Destiny, where you come back and you're so confused because they've removed content or they completely changed systems. Like Warframe changes systems occasionally for sure, but not to the way that Bungie has changed Destiny constantly. And so it's such a mind twist when you come back to Warframe. You're like, cool, okay, there's a little bit of change. Most of my stuff is still good. Sure, I can't do in-game as efficient because they've changed some elements. They've changed modding. Okay, you know, it's kind of like Destiny, where you come back and what used to be meta is no longer meta because they buffed and nerfed things. That same thing. But when you come back and systems are dramatically changed to where you're like, my armor's no longer good. I now have to regrind and reset and do everything completely different. That's the problem that people have. And Warframe doesn't really mess with that magic. They keep things consistent. They do change things. They add things. They build upon things. They make the experience enjoyable. Warframe doesn't give the same opportunities for players to fall out of the gameplay loop. Systems like daily logins, crafter timers are explicitly designed to keep you thinking about what's next and what to do next, and it's easier to come back in. Like, I know a lot of people hate, that is the biggest complaint, and I agree. I do think that the timer just takes so damn long, but then I have to stop and think, this game is free. It's free. And while that thing is updating, I can play with my other toys and grind the next toy. So it's almost like a cycle. Farm, use your current toys, grind other toys, craft toys, work on the next toy, use the new toy, then craft, wait while the other one's crafting. Like, it's a loop. And there's so many guns in this game that it's okay. And if you don't want, if you're impatient, yes, you can spend real money to bypass the timer, or you could play the game, grind out things to sell in the in-game market, make money, and then use that to skip timers. Like, this game allows you to play how you want to play. And that's something that people don't understand, where Destiny does not allow you to do that. In fact, Bungie has done more harm to the player economy by removing the ways to actually farm in-game currency, like Bright Dust, dramatically, continuing to remove the things that people would farm. Whereas Warframe says, hey, we're going to add more things consistently that you can grind in-game for, sell it, make real money, and then proceed to use that real money in-game that you have farmed and earned in-game to buy the next thing. So it has the retention's there. You can essentially become a in-game businessman. I can return to where I stopped at Warframe. Similar, however, cannot be said about the game I paid to access. Bungie already deleted what I paid for, so F them. I mean, you're not wrong. Warframe is free, and everything that you bought is still there. Even, like, their events go away, but there's not seasonal content that just up, outs, and lift. By the way, anything they put in the store generally stays in the store. There is no FOMO, which is something that Bungie doesn't understand, because they want to build FOMO by putting in, saying, hey, sorry, kids, we got to rotate cosmetics out because there's not enough space in the store to fit it all. And Warframe has everything in the store still. Understanding and learning into your game loop while making everything accessible through grinding means your player base remains loyal and happy. D2 strays from what it excels at constantly, always trying to reinvent the wheel instead of just giving their players what they want. When you constantly change what people, the norm is, and what people have fallen in love with, it makes, like, a good example is they went to the portal, which is nothing more than Fortnite menu gameplay, and it removed a lot of the grind, like the good grind that people wanted, in exchange for generic leveling. And so that's part of the problem that you're seeing with Destiny, and why people are like, you know what? You just give me, all I do is grind for digital number, and then you throw loot at me, and I'm done. Warframe tried FOMO once upon a time, but received major backlash and never did it again. Oh, imagine that. They actually listened to their consumer base. Good goons and the community morale. Good goons? Fashion frame. What do you, good goons? What do you mean good goons? Are you talking about the Warframe? Like, you can goon to Warframe? Is that what they're trying to say? I don't know. Community morale isn't talked about enough, in my opinion. A huge part of people staying is because DE tries to foster a good community, encouraging people to help one another, engage with them constantly, and give out free stuff constantly. That goes a long way. Yeah, I mean, you literally want your players to feel loved. I believe even when they apologize for it and all. Well, that's the big thing. When you can apologize for something and your community believes you, and it isn't like some scummy tactic to, you know, get out of trouble, that says volumes. Warframe is free. Yes, that is the only reason why. Warframe is honestly up there with the most boring games I've ever played. I'm really not sure how it has players at all. Well, you see, you don't have to enjoy it, but this is obviously someone that's stuck in the Destiny world. You need to realize that even if you don't enjoy the game, that Bungie should follow the same practices, because it would benefit you and the player base. Let's see, average COD players be like, hell nah, COD is cool, but I don't play COD, haven't for years. 11 hours, no likes. Makes sense. I don't care about likes. I mean, listen, you're entitled to not like something, but I think it's really, it says it all that you don't understand why it's played. The average Destiny 2 player that hates Warframe and doesn't understand why people like Warframe and why Warframe deserves more praise. One thing, they don't take anything away. If you start that game from the beginning right now, you're going to be able to play every bit of content aside from special events, of course, without chunks missing. It's consistent. By the way, the events don't add to the story or anything, and 9 out of 10 times there's going to be other ways for you to get the things that they sell. And it's not even usually guns, by the way, unless you're talking about TennoCon. They give out free guns, and then they find other ways for you to get those guns later on by adding it to a vendor or an event, an in-game activity, right? But most of everything you can just keep grinding for. And by the way, can we just mention that there are so many damn guns in the game, and yet people are still finding ways to find old guns and make them meta or viable? You really can just choose to play however you want for each Warframe and each build. Like, that's another thing. Warframe has found a way to make any gun, even older ones, still meta without having to like renew an entire activity. They just make it work. Oh, what we got Incarnans for bursting and all these old things. Now just do this, and this gun is now the most meta thing ever. It's like, it's just that easy. Vindication. Literally, during the Heresy Edge of Fate decline, people were just desperate to know what was next, and every Thursday DMG was putting more words about his overlords at Twitch than info about the game. Keep it hard to keep up hope. Yeah, I mean, DMG should have just kept his mouth shut. He did nothing to help the situation, and I think that's a big difference. Is that I think the communication, like the communication directors and whatnot for Warframe, do such a substantial job actually connecting to their wider audience versus haha memes. Bread, lol. There's nothing similar to Warframe in gaming as well. The devs respect their player base. After all, the game won't exist today if their veterans didn't place their full trust by giving money to the devs. That's a big thing, right? Warframe is allowed to make another game, Soulsframe, because of the support of the community. And it was such a natural transition. It wasn't a brute force. It wasn't like, hey, even though it is indeed like not a one-for-one same style game, it definitely has certain vibes that you're like, okay, this is definitely made by Digital Extremes, but they're trying something new. They're trying something fresh. And the entire time they're having the community influence the entire process, taking feedback and criticism. They're not hiding and locking away from, NDAs and other bullshit that Bungie does with Marathon. Like, it's completely natural, and it's very obvious that it's not taking substantial resources away from Warframe, because Warframe's still pumping out content. And even 2 or 3 weeks later, the highs are still fucking high. Like, they are still popping off. Like, that says so much. But you gotta know there's always people. What was this? This was in response to I guess people talking about this new anime game. Copy pasted Warframe Anime Girls is so funny. What the heck is that excavation mission? Even if DNA is a 1-for-1 copy, rip off a Temu version of Warframe is still unique in the way that delivers anime waifus and soon anime waifus in bikinis, which is something that Warframe will never do. Faceless, disgusting aliens is not everyone's cup of tea. At Red Ford, are you really gonna tag her? You're gonna tag her as woke. I'm sorry. This is a hot. I'm not gonna say it. Anyways, she's hot. Director, right? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Chief? A photo of oxygen doesn't help the drowning man. A bikini doesn't help the digital hedonist. We must create a total reset of atomic bonds of sex appeal. The bikini is a welcome but borrowed signal. The real work begins with the experimentation of, well, I don't know what the fuck is being said here, but hello there. This one's for you. I find it quite hilarious that Warframe's inability to do proper fan service sparkles the creation of games like the First Ascent and DNA, because not everyone has a faceless alien fantasy, but to each their own. Some prefer to goon to faceless aliens, I guess. And this is when you see humiliation ritual get mogged by Warframe because woke is bad. I don't even know what these people are fucking talking about. What do you talk about woke? We have fucking Marie. We have fucking Marie in the game. You're telling me this is woke? You're telling me this is woke? I wanted to click this and full screen this. This is woke. By the way, you can get her to love you. You can romance her. You're gonna say that this is fucking woke? A hot, sexy nun? You're gonna say that that's woke? What the fuck is wrong with people? Just because that literally not dropping and showing a bikini, suddenly it's woke? This is why I hate involving in this woke argument, because there's times where, you know, there's reasonable doubt, and then there's people that are just so fucking stupid and use woke as just this stupid, unintelligent argument. Like calling this woke frame when have you seen the fucking frames in the game? Have you seen that ass? Have you seen that ass? But woke frame. I'm sorry. The people that just want to hate on Warframe, at least find actual logical reasons to hate it. You don't like third person. You don't like the gunplay. That's fair. Another reason to love Warframe is the dev team don't make fun of their community and bring the community down by constantly showing love for the community and welcome new players with open arms. Exactly. And I think them, you know, being buddy with Maddox and Raffle Waffles is a great thing, because I don't care who's showcasing Warframe. The more eyes and love that this game gets is a great thing. So if he glazes, I glaze with them. Marie, my beloved. Some people just want drama where there isn't any. The First Ascent didn't fall off because it's not woke. It fell off because it was a single end game activity for 6 months past launch. Exactly. By the way, I like the First Ascendant, and I didn't care about the bikinis and all the, like, I ran around as Bunny, not because it's big booty, big Judy, titty, you know, and, you know, bunny girl. She was just fucking good. Her kit was amazing and fun. And that's like the thing that people don't understand. Like, Stellar Blade, I want to play, but because it was like challenging and looked fun, but then of course everyone's shaming anyone that plays it, like, oh, you're just a gooner. Which I want to just say right now, I know we're talking about Warframe, but I just want to put my 2 cents in here. The whole idea of like goon frame, or, you know, any game that has a hot, pretty girl, I don't give a shit, right? It's not like, I treat video games like I do movies. You'd be watching the Fast and the Furious or some action game like Jason Statham and he's banging some hot model. What are we out here, you know, talking about games being over sexualized? Oh, you're just a gooner. Bitch, you literally watched The Witcher, and what does he do? He literally claps the cheeks of people on, you literally see tatas in The Witcher. Is The Witcher gooner bait too? Like, damn. I don't know. I hate certain arguments that people make of what's good about a game, what's bad about the game. And I just think that people make the stupidest arguments. But I also want to call to action. We got Bungie and Destiny constantly in the news, but look at all this. Like, you can't, I've got covered up. I'm going through a year ago. There's not enough press or coverage of Warframe and what they're doing right. And it feels like it's like it's a plot. Like, people don't want, even in the Game Awards for best ongoing game, Warframe 100% deserved that slot. What's up, Alexia? Warframe 100% deserved that slot as the best ongoing game in my opinion, especially community support. But as you can see, like even Dexterdo doesn't even cover it. And when you Google Warframe news, guess what? It's mostly just their Reddit and their website, but no one else wants to cover Warframe. Like there is no anything about it. You Google Bungie news or Destiny news, and I'm sure you're gonna find shit, right? Oh, we got tech up. Digital Extremes completes Warframe Android closed. Yeah, you can play Warframe on the phone now, and they're working on the Android version. Yeah, so where's the news for Warframe? Why are people not talking about Warframe? It deserves it. Destiny 2 news. Right off the rip. Forbes. Reddit, like so many fucking Reddit posts. Forbes, Bungie Press, The Game Post, The Game Informer, Game Rant, GameSpot, IGN, Reset Era, Mobalytics, Forbes again, Game Post again, Yardbark, The Escapist, Destiny Tracker would make sense, Shack News, Boosting Ground, Game Rant. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Why? You want to know why Warframe doesn't get attention? Digital Extremes doesn't sell out for the greedy coverage. You know what? You might not be wrong. But that's why I want to do my best to give Warframe the coverage and shout out it deserves. Like it deserves the love. It truly does, guys. Like, listen, even if you're skeptical about third person or trying a new game, I'm here. In fact, I've been tempted to make my own Tenno clan, the Scholars. That is exactly. By the way, I was tempted. Do I say Scholars of the First Sin? Because that's based on Dark Souls. That's where the ideas for Scholars came from, by the way, is Dark Souls, Scholars of the First Sin. Anyways, I legit just got off Warframe. Nice. But anyways, that my thought is we need to continue to give press and coverage to Warframe. It deserves the love and attention. And I want it to become more mainstream. And I think with these numbers, it's going to hopefully continue the trend that it deserves. Especially with people who are allowing themselves to be disrespected by companies like Bungie, Ubisoft, Activision. These companies that are just greedy and trying to milk you. Try Warframe. It's free. It's a great community. No matter whether you're from the beginning or the end, whether whether you have stepped away from Warframe, back, give it a shot. Yeah, that's just my call, my plea. Check out Warframe. I will glaze it, and they deserve it. I call me the glazer. You know what? If that I don't care. We don't care. It's a free game, and they love their community and they respect. And there's gonna be people in the comments saying, "Well, they did this. They refused to unban me because I did this," and I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Your grievances, your one-off grievances, does not discount the years of good customer service and care that they put into a brand, into a game. Like, I'm sorry, your one little detail of I hate Warframe because this happened. I'm sorry that you had a bad encounter, but that doesn't discount the fact that that happens in any game and everywhere. But I'm just gonna say it. Warframe is probably one of the best free games out there, and Digital Extremes is one of the best companies, game developers out there, based on just the morale and community support and community involvement that they have. But enough babbling for me. I'll see you guys in the next video.